Yep, that is. Well, no, it's not.
Yeah, so I guess this will be our third episode. Did some A6 content now. Now we're gonna turn our attention to the ND stuff. We're kind of waiting on a bunch of parts in the shop and material and stuff, so have some time to get this thing back together and get the turbo kit back on it. We're gonna update to what is our production kit. What was on the car was a little bit prototype parts, so we're gonna be fabricating some of the production stuff that you can see here on the display stand. Show you guys our kit. This is for the ND Miatas. 2016 was the first year of them. That's the ND1. 2019 is the ND2. Some slight changes to the motor. He makes 180 at the crank, whereas the ND1 makes 155. Kit physically fits both engines. However, there's more tuning options for the ND1. There's Accutech. For the ND2, I think it's Versatune, I believe is the one out there. Accutech doesn't support the ND2 at this point. I don't think they have plans to. There has been a few turbocharged ND2s, and they do really nice numbers, but I know there's going to be a few more in the works. We've sold some kits recently to guys with ND2s that will be installing them soon, and hopefully we'll see some numbers. But this kit right now, based around the Garrett GT or GTX 28 series turbos. My car runs a GTX 2860R Gen 2, and then my brother actually, he's the L in JDL. So he actually has a black RF ND1. He runs the off-the-shelf production kit, owns stock motor, stock clutch, basically stock everything engine-wise. Just bolt-on turbo kit, 7 PSI on a GT 2860 RS. Just dynoed a couple days ago. 225, 230 at the wheels on 7 PSI. Bone stock, these cars on a dyno jet put down anywhere from 135 to 140. So, 80 some horsepower, pretty significant increase at off the gate. Quite a bit lighter than the FRS BRZ A6. So 230 at the wheels is a good, it makes for a lot of fun in one of these. My car was running about 11 PSI on the GTX 2860R Gen 2. 269 at the wheels with 275 foot-pounds of torque. It was about 11, little over 11 PSI. That was what was on here. Now we're gonna be taking all of the prototype parts off. This was kind of like a hand-built airbox. The airbox is designed to basically replicate the factory airbox, which would just put the MAF sensor in the outlet on this side as the throttle body, as the car's naturally aspirated from the factory. So we basically just replicated the factory airbox, same size tube for the MAF inlet, flipped the position around. That way it can, you can see on there the intake from the turbo goes up to it right there. This box, as it's designed, this one's all CNC laser cut, bent, welded up. It's designed to use an OEM upgrade filter, like a K&N. We send the kits with a K&N drop-in filter that sandwiches between both boxes. And this is a snorkel, goes to the factory snorkel into the front bumper. So we're gonna be updating to one of these, as I feel like in Arizona I need a filter in there, and there's all rocks and gravel.
Too much dust.
Yeah, too much dust and everything. So we're gonna be making one of these today, and then that way it can go out to powder coat, and once everything's back, we can start getting the car together. We're also going to be doing the production battery box that relocates the battery. It doesn't relocate it, it flips it 90 degrees so that the charge pipe can pass through. We're going to be making one of those today. And then we're also going to be making a new heat shield. This has got a nice OEM look to it, the kit, when everything's installed like that. I'll take that off in a minute here and show you the manifold underneath. It's a very short runner manifold, but still flows very nice. So we'll check that out in a second. But we are going to be fabricating or welding up a heat shield so we can run the production one. Before, I had actually made a titanium one by hand, way before I had these. This is cool, but I want to have the car run basically an off-the-shelf, as you buy it, as it comes kit. And kind of get away from some of the one-off stuff that's on this car. No point to go huge on the turbos. They're just the development's not quite where the A6 platform is in terms of power, and it's a little bit. It doesn't have port injection. It's only direct injection, so you're limited by that. And on top of that, these cars have notoriously weak transmissions. Even stock, there's numerous people that have just destroyed factory transmissions. Luckily, this car has about 8,000 miles boosted on it so far, and I'm still on the original transmission. Like I said, it made about 270. I turned it down a little bit to about the 250 level, and that's where it was driven mostly. But I don't beat on it too much. It's so much more powerful than it was, so it's kind of take it sort of easy on the transmission up to this point. Yeah, so the kit's internally wastegated, 2.5-inch downpipe, all stainless steel, TIG welded, flex joint there, so it allows movement on the exhaust. I'll pull off the heat shield so you can check out the manifold. And we offer the same Cerakote coatings for all this stuff too, so if you know this heat shield and whatnot coated black, everything kind of looks like it came that way. So underneath there, it's a short runner tubular manifold, all 321 stainless steel, stainless head flange, billet machine, 3D machined stainless collector. A lot of the benefits of a tubular manifold, but super compact and quick spooling for the power level that these cars pretty much seem to make. I don't think it needs anything more. The rest of the kit is pretty straightforward. The intake to the air box that we talked about we're going to be building today. Diverter valve that recirculates back into the intake. It's a Turbo Smart DV. Hot side charge piping 2 inches. Goes into the intercooler. It's a Garrett intercooler core we fabricate the end tanks for. 2.25 pipe on this side that transitions to a 2.5 for the throttle body. Pretty much the kit there. I know that these kind of have a weird intake manifold. They're very long runner. You can see the plenum doesn't start till right down here. I know that my brother, he's been really itching to design a medium runner intake manifold that can kind of help these cars kind of, I guess they feel kind of like a truck motor. It makes peak torque like almost instantly, and then I think about 5,700 RPMs that the torque seems to fall off quite a bit, at least on the ND1 engine. The ND2 carries it out. It seems like another 800, 900 RPMs before it starts to fall off. They do have bigger cams in the ND2. There are similar aftermarket cams, which I actually have for the ND1 that will be going in this before it goes back on the dyno. So we're hoping to be able to extend the power band out a little bit more and then start testing some prototype intake manifolds to better top end is kind of what we're after. There's plenty of power and torque down low as is right now. Kind of looks, and then it just kind of curls over a little bit up top, but still huge improvement over factory. This is the battery box right here. You can see in the car there, the battery is facing this way. Originally, they flip around like there. So basically, we just flip the battery, lets the charge pipe pass through. This box relocates it over. You don't have to extend any wiring or anything like that. We will be welding these tabs onto here, next door, welding the seams up, and then that will be going to powder coat. This will be getting seams welded up on this also. This is actually going to be going to ceramic coating. I'm going to have all this other stuff's all welded up. We're going to send that up to All Valley powder coat. Probably just going to end up doing black on here, since now that the car's purple. It used to have bronze wheels, so I was like, oh, the bronze will go. But now with everything like this, I'll probably just do black and make it look all factory looking and not really try to kind of hit in more like OEM style setup. This is the air box, multi-pieces before it's welded up. This is the upper portion. You'll see all this will fit together like that. So where the MAF tube's gonna go. Air box, that'll go just like that when we go over next door to weld it. And that'll be the full upper. Where this thing goes on the chassis, we'll see when we have this one out, there's like a support beam that goes across that this mounts to. And there's a few wires and factory notches that go there. So what this thing actually does, goes like that, basically raises the box up and uses that as a mounting point, gets welded on the inside. This is going to be the basically the MAF tube. This end will be into here, and that comes through like there. We have MAF sensors machine for placement in there, and this will end up right about there. And then this will be the snorkel. There's a tube that basically comes down here, replicates factory position for the snorkel. So then we'll go next door, weld this thing up, and get it ready to head off to coating. This stuff's getting powder coated, wrinkle black, so it'll cover up any my lack of aluminum experience, to say the least. So we'll go ahead and this welder's very loud. The rest of the welders are much quieter than this one, but this one's water cooled, 325 amp, do a lot thicker. All my other ones are like 200 to 220, and they're air cooled only. They're just for production stainless work. So those are also on liquid argon, whereas this is just regular argon bottles. So we don't really need the high grade argon for this as much as we do for our stainless stuff. So that stuff's a lot nicer. But this is a new area to the shop that we've kind of expanded into over here. So we'll go ahead and get this tap. We'll start with this one. Spot I didn't get, but it's going on my car. I'll live with that. Yeah. Ready to go to coating. Airbox, snorkel, MAF tube right there, battery tray, battery tie down, battery box, and then our stainless heat shield. Wrinkle black powder on these parts, and probably a black Cerakote on that to give it OEM look. We also have something back from coating that we're going to be releasing soon. Let's open it up. It's a catch can on this side, and washer fluid on this side, all in one combo. Nothing's in this car right now, but there's a huge plastic washer fluid that goes right there. Kind of an eyesore, I suppose, but also way more washer fluid than you'll probably ever need. So we kind of made an all-in-one piece that replaces that. Like I said, there's going to be a billet cap that goes on it here. Production ones will have some laser engraving. Come with all fittings, obviously, lines. Factory pump, grommet fits right in right there. Use that. On the can side, you can see on the inside it's all baffled. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. The can's all baffled. 2 ins and then 1 back to recirculate back into the intake tube. Goes right there. One nut right there, and then a bolt right on that right there.
Perfect.
See, so yeah, that's this is something that we're hoping to have in production sometime towards the end of June. I'm thinking. We had a couple of them done. Just my brother's running one on his car, and then this one's going on my car once the car goes back together here, which hopefully be in the next couple weeks here. That's about it for the ND stuff. Stuff's all gonna head up to powder, and recoat the manifold, downpipe turbo, all black. Then it's just going to be fabricating titanium exhaust. So
is that what we're going to see next time?
That's what we're going to be taking on next time. All right, that's it.